Oh, that quercetin.
Throwing darts today. Throwing darts!
Oh, dang-a-lang.
Throwing darts. I'm going to guess one of the 15 cameras here may have that. There's an expression that's become all too familiar in recent years. It's stick to sports. I hear it often when I start to stray. It's the standard response when athletes or journalists or talk show hosts stray from the game, and we dip our toes into the real world events. And this weekend, sticking to sports became almost impossible to do. Yet prominent athletes, former players, coaches, even leagues publicly addressing the systemic racism, the killing of George Floyd. Some drove halfway across the country to stand with protesters. Others took to social media to express their anger, their dismay, their concern. And you can question some people's motives or doubt their sincerity, but the message was really clear. We have to do better. Do better when it comes to racism. And it's a challenge for everyone. Athletes not only plan to be involved, but they plan to be leaders. The games are on a brief hiatus. But the men and women who compete at the highest level sent a loud message this weekend. This is a battle that they have no plans to sit out. And I'm not here to lecture. I'm not here to shout. I'm here to just talk. I've always felt this show is for everyone. It's for people who support law enforcement, for people who think George Floyd was murdered. It's for people who are outraged with the protesting, people who are outraged and are protesting, people who think looting and burning buildings is wrong. We're the home for all of these people. It's complicated. And it's okay if two people regarding multiple subjects have different opinions. People can support, you can support the police, but you can think what happened was wrong. You can support protesters, but you can say looting is wrong. And we can't ignore the fact that we're just five white guys discussing extremely sensitive issues regarding race. But we're here to listen, to learn, and respect the struggles and feelings of everyone who's been affected by this. And there were so many great things that were said, so many poignant things that were written. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had an op-ed piece in the LA Times, and I have such profound respect for Kareem. He says, yes, protests often are used as an excuse for someone to take advantage, just as when fans celebrating a hometown sports team championship burn cars and destroy storefronts. I don't want to see stores looted or even buildings burned. But African Americans have been living in a burning building for many years, choking on the smoke as the flames burn closer and closer. Racism in America is like dust in the air. It seems invisible, even if you're choking on it, until you let the sun in. Then you see it's everywhere. As long as we keep shining that light, we have a chance of cleaning it wherever it lands. But we have to stay vigilant because it's always still in the air. Kareem goes on to finish his column in the LA Times. What I want is not a rush to judgment, but a rush to justice. I also thought that the mayor of Atlanta had a powerful, powerful message with her press conference, Keisha Lance Bottoms. I just want to take a portion of this, but she spoke to the heart of what this is all about as the mayor of a great city of Atlanta, but also as the mother of children.
When I saw the murder of George Floyd, I hurt like a mother would hurt. And on yesterday, when I heard there were rumors about violent protests in Atlanta, I did what a mother would do. I called my son and I said, "Where are you?" I said, "I cannot protect you and black boys shouldn't be out today. So you're not going to out-concern me and out-care about where we are in America. I wear this each and every day, and I pray over my children each and every day. So what I see happening on the streets of Atlanta is not Atlanta. This is not a protest. This is not in the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. This is chaos. A protest has purpose. When Dr. King was assassinated, we didn't do this to our city. So if you love this city that has had a legacy of black mayors and black police chiefs and people who care about this city, where more than 50% of the business owners in Metro Atlanta are minority business owners. If you care about this city, then go home and pray that somebody like Reverend Beasley will come and talk to you and give you some instructions on what a protest should look like and how you effectuate change in America.
That's the mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms. Very, very powerful. Sports Illustrated's Michael Rosenberg had a column that he wrote on SI.com, and just at the very end, he says, many white people pick apart their methods instead of listening to their message. And please understand, every time you ask a black athlete to stick to sports, you're asking that athlete to be selfish. Baseball, of all the sports, needs this. Imagine if baseball was ready to go. People would be consuming baseball at an alarming rate, a record-setting rate. And now you're going to get lost. Golf's back. Hockey's coming back. College football and the NFL in the on-deck circle here. The NBA is coming back. Baseball is going to get lost. And we might say, hey, get lost if baseball eventually gets back. Yeah, Paul.
And like you said, baseball is going to have an uphill battle for eyeballs anyway. July and August, the NBA will be in playoff mode. That's when a lot of casual fans tune into the NBA. They pass on the regular season. The football will ramp up fast. They're going to be battling the entire late summer and fall for eyeballs, and they're going in with a poor start.
114 game season. This, according to the Major League Baseball Players Association, they delivered a return to play proposal. This was late last night. Jeff Passan had it. They would start June 30th, which is pretty aggressive since, here we are, June. And now by the end of the month, and they would play until October 31st. It's expected to be dismissed by the owners. Baseball proposed 82 games. The players want more games, therefore there's more money. Everything is about money. That's the bottom line here. But you're trying to figure, are they going to expand the playoffs? That's been proposed from 10 to 14 teams. They're worried about if postseason is canceled because there's a second wave of the coronavirus. Baseball keeps arguing about this, and every other sport is making progress, moving forward. And I think this could be long-term damage to baseball. And this is knowing your market share, having a market awareness of where do you stand. People aren't talking about baseball. We need it, miss it. We'll move on without it because there are other sports that will come back. And then you're going to hit postseason with the NBA, postseason with Stanley Cup final. You're going to get lost. I mean, good luck. If the NBA moves their season and the postseason goes into football season, and then baseball's trying to do their postseason then, I mean, good luck.
Chat Row knows that on Friday a verbal air ball was fired at us. So before things get out of hand, I'm here on behalf of Chat Row to negotiate Mario's complete and unconditional surrender. Ask Tyler. Chat Row is all about the fun, but we're not going to sit idly by while insults are hurled. So we're not going to fight this airball chucker with conventional insults because that's going to take too long. And ultimately, it's going to make it too painful.
Okay.
We're going to wage an all-out campaign on multiple fronts and ensure that he's left a whimpering mess. I'm not going to reveal our entire strategy, but for starters, I think the phrase "suck it, Mario" will become commonplace.
Okay.
There's other weapons, and we're ready to use them, but we're going to keep them secret for now.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Anthony.
Hey, suck it, Mario.
Yeah, Anthony, I think Chat Row felt the shot fired around the man cave. Mario called them Shat Row.
I think that the idea of Chat Row being upset that insults are being are flying around is pretty hilarious.
I like that they get
75% of their content there is hurling insults at someone.
Yeah. Seaton pointed to this out. He goes, wait. So Chat Row's upset that they got insulted by Mario when they spend their whole morning insulting us.
It's like Chat Row is great because if you ever wanted to know what people said about you when you're not around, now you can just read it. Now you can just read it and you're like, wow, this is awful.
Ouch.
Thanks, guys.
Oh.
Thanks, everyone.
Best of the weekend. Todd, I'll start with you.
My best of the weekend may be a little lame, but late Saturday night, I'm flipping through the channels, and I stopped on Kelly LeBrock from 1984's The Woman in Red, which I had seen before, but I found myself watching most of that anyway. And then Bester, following that movie, Femme Fatale, 2002 with Rebecca Romaine, went on the screen like at 2 a.m, and that was that's how late Saturday night went.
Okay. McLovin?
Okay, as you may or may not know, I'm not a NASCAR expert, but I've noticed a trend. Why is Chase Elliott the story every single... Like, who is Chase Elliott? Does he have the fastest car in the history of the planet? He wins every stage and then gets in a crash at the last second or does something stupid. It's like Dale Earnhardt. It's unbelievable.
He has some tough luck, but he did win the previous week.
He did, yeah. Then I guess he got another near miss this week.
Yeah. And then prior to that had a near miss as well.
And he's got a great NASCAR name. We've done that part. Chase Elliott, that's a good one.
Yeah. Now, is that Bill Elliott's son, Paulie?
Yeah, he's from Dawsonville. He's 24 years old. William Clyde Elliott II.
Oh, okay. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville was one of my favorite nicknames. Paulie Bestis?
This weekend I played a lot of wiffle ball with the kids in the backyard. We played before, but we played a lot. We had a tournament. We had rules. I guess the rule is for kids, like you either can tag them with the ball, or if you smoke them with the ball as they're going from base to base, that counts as an out.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I didn't know that wiffle ball was invented nearby. A father in 1953, his son was kind of scared of the real baseball, invented a plastic baseball with holes and a plastic bat, and it became the Wiffle Ball Company. And the Wiffle Ball Company is based in Connecticut. They haven't changed their products since basically 1950s. If you go on their website, all there is to buy is the bat and the ball. There's no special editions. There's no mix of colors. It's that kind of yellow manila color bat and the ball. That's it. That's all they have for sale. They haven't changed. Like, what do they do at the meetings at the Wiffle Ball Company? Like on Monday. All right, what are we doing this week?
When they have research and development?
Yeah, the R&D guys.
Yeah, R&D guys are here.
We're not ready to present anything yet, boss. Give us another decade. I'm fascinated by the Wiffle Ball Company.
Wait, there is no options when it comes to bats or balls?
No, there is a junior set and a full-size set. That's it. But they invented that in the 70s. So since 1970, the R&D department has given you nothing. But they provide the same exact product every year. They haven't gone away from the original. There's one wiffle ball. There's not like a big version. There's not a version with more holes. There's not like a, whatever. That's it.
Yes, Todd.
And some people in leagues take great pride in what they can do. Like the pitchers, you'll see on social media, some of the things they can make that ball do is wild.
Seton O'Connor, Bestis.
All right, so I'm late on these, and I've been giving you updates on how we're making our way through the Mission Impossible series with Tom Cruise.
Oh, God.
So we just watched the fifth one, I think. It's called Rogue Nation thing. One, you have to watch, before you watch this movie, all right? You only watch the first 5 minutes of it. That's all you have to see, right? Before you do that, go watch the making of it, all right? Because there's this scene, it opens with this scene of Tom Cruise, who famously does all of his own stunts for this. And there's this scene where he's hanging out on the side of an airplane.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. You have to watch the making of the stunts that he's doing. It's seriously, it blew my mind.
Here's the concern I have. Is the making of the movie better than the movie?
Sometimes. Not in this case. The making of the movie is fascinating, but I think if you watch that first and then you watch the movie and in the back of your mind, I kept saying out loud, he really did that. He's really doing that. He really did that. It's crazy.
And he broke his ankle jumping from one building to another. He did that stunt and then broke his ankle. Yeah, Paul.
I don't mind the Mission Impossible movies. They're fun. They're easy on the head, if you know what I mean. There's not a lot of thought involved. But when Tom Cruise is in a dangerous situation, I never think he's going to die. Like in the first 18 minutes of the movie, I'm like, Tom, I think he's going to make it out of this one. It'd be very bad for the whole franchise if he kicked.
And like he's got another hour and a half.
At least.
Yeah, to live. I don't know why I've never been really entertained by Mission Impossible.
I never watched them before, ever. But my son he really wanted to see them. He likes like action movies and spies and stuff like that. So we've dialed that one up. And it was, some are better than others. But this last one was awesome.
Yeah, Paulie.
I actually have a question for Seton. Seton teased on Friday that he and his son were going to watch Dumb and Dumber this weekend. I think your son's 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
That must have been a great moment of his life.
It was. We could probably say that he was one person on Friday and a new person Saturday.
Oh.
Because, boy, did he has learned the, you know how we always say that fart equals funny?
Yeah.
In 10-year-old boy terms, he is just running with that. Holy smokes. Yeah, he said Dumb and Dumber was just as stupid as Monty Python's Holy Grail, but funnier.
I think Dumb and Dumber is a great movie.
It's a great movie.
And I expect Jim Carrey to be funny, but he's even greater than what you think. Jeff Daniels is the one who makes that movie.
I can't believe Jeff Daniels read that script and was like, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I'll do that.
And then I see Jeff Daniels on Broadway To Kill a Mockingbird, and you're going, yeah, he was in Dumb and Dumber.
So good. It's wonderful, an absolutely wonderful cinematic experience.
Lauren Holly?
10 out of 10.
Yeah. I watched a show over the weekend. I'm embarrassed to admit that I watched it, but I needed something that was light. I watched Outer Banks.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They got you.
Yeah, they did. It's like the OC or some of those shows. It's just eye candy.
Is it a real show or is it like The Hills, those fake?
It's The Hills.
Oh, The Hills on MTV?
Well, no. It's
Or is it a real scripted show? I mean,
it's a scripted. No, it's not a reality show.
Oh, okay.
No. But it's just eye candy. That's all it is. It's just guys with their shirts off and they're hunting for sunken treasure.
Is this a show made for grown men?
Probably not.
Probably.
My wife walked in on me watching the show. And
That's not good.
No, she goes, what is that? And I said, so they had this guy, John B., who's, handsome guy. He's got his shirt off. And so my wife walks in as John B. was getting out of the water. She goes, what are you watching? I said, Outer Banks? She goes,
It's in the category of teen TV shows.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So I'm looking at this little landing page for him. It says, on an island of have and have-nots, teen John B. enlists his 3 best friends to hunt for a legendary treasure linked to his father's disappearance.
Yep.
Hey, you clicked play.
Yes, I did. And so did a lot of other people. Yes, McLevin.
I can't believe you beat me to Outer Banks. That's been on my to-do list. If there's a locker in it, I'm watching it. I don't care. High school TV is awesome.
Yes, Paul.
Does anybody wear a shirt in the show? Is it shirt-free?
They do, but not long.
Is it a lot of longing looks without like any dialogue?
Oh, no, there's dialogue.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of pushing and shoving, and there's violence. And
So you watched one episode and then you moved on and watched something real,
I
right?
watched all 10.
Oh, come on.
I watched all
Come on,
10
dude.
episodes of Outer Banks.
You got to clear this stuff with me before you go on air.
I know. I've been watching a lot of other things.
I wish it was Outer Banks, BANX. That would have been better. Outer Banks.
Yeah.
Starring Chase Stokes.
Yeah.
Every character in the show is named Chase. Like
Chase
there's
Stokes.
John B. is the star of this. He's easy on the eyes.
Brad Pennington.
And Madison.
There is an expression that becomes all too familiar when these situations, moments arise. Stick to sports. I hear it all the time. And we try to do our best to do that because I know there are other options if you want to have the heavy news of the day. there are times when this can't be avoided because it is real. We are real. We're affected by these. We have friends who are affected by these. You know, the standard response when athletes or journalists, we stray from the game into real world events. And I was accused of weaponizing the coronavirus because I brought it up. And as I told you at the time, I'm not weaponizing, I'm personalizing just because of my situation and why it is so severe and so important. Anybody I come around, I almost have to do this background check because I can't get this. If I do get it, I can die. I'm not weaponizing it. I'm personalizing it. And that is what's happening now with a lot of these athletes. They're personalizing it. They're not weaponizing it. And I think when we say, oh, athletes stick to sports, well, then that's a selfish thing to do. Remember, Michael Jordan got criticized. Oh, he doesn't want to take a stand. Tiger Woods doesn't want to take a stand. Then they take a stand, and then you say, hey, stick to golf. Stick to basketball. You know, this weekend sticking to sports was really impossible to do because you have athletes and former players and coaches, even leagues publicly addressing, you know, the killing of George Floyd. And look, we can question some people's motives or doubt their sincerity, or if you're looting these businessmen, you know, that's just tragic, sorry, sad, horrible. You can protest. But we do have to do better. We do. And I love the fact these athletes are on the front lines. More should be on the front lines, and not just African American. You know, we don't have games now, but men and women who compete at the highest level sent a loud message this weekend. And what happens is we move on so quickly in society. We'll move on from this. We moved on from, you know, these killings before. Where are we going to be in a month, 6 months, a year with this topic? That's what I want to know. What do we do? How do we do it? How do we remind? How do we get better? All of these things. And if you watch the show, you know that I love getting patches from firemen or policemen around the country because I know all of the great things you do. And because you have a bad police officer in Minneapolis doesn't mean that the police officer in Flint, Michigan is a bad person. We have bad people in all walks of life. And unfortunately, you had a bad police officer there right in front of us on video, spending almost 9 minutes with his knee on George Floyd's neck. And I watched it once. I made sure my kids watched it. When you hear him cry, he's dying. Hopefully we don't forget that sound because it may prevent somebody from going through that again. But don't forget George Floyd because we do move on at warp speed. Once we figured out Corona, once sports are back, we'll move on. Move on, though, and always remember. Keep an eye on the rearview mirror.